Welcome back to another episode of Ask Bros, and today, guys, it is Sunday, so you know what that means. Scripture Sunday. Let's get right into the Word. So today's message is going to be revolving all around Exodus chapter 14, and this is the story where Moses parts the Red Sea and frees the Israelites from the hand of Egypt. So we're going to start off in verses 1 through 4, and it says, "Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Tell the sons of Israel to turn back and camp before Phi-hahiroth." I probably said that wrong, but I'm sorry. "Between Migdol and the sea, you shall camp in front of Baal-zephon, opposite it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say, The sons of Israel, they are wandering aimlessly in the land. The wilderness has shut them in. Thus I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will chase after them. And I will be honored through Pharaoh and all his army, and the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord," and they did so. So the first thing that's taking place here is that Moses is getting a word from the Lord. As we see, it opens up, now the Lord spoke to Moses, so we know that the Lord is speaking to Moses right here. So what the Lord is saying here to Moses is to take the sons of Israel and to go camp by the sea, that he will harden Pharaoh's heart as he chases them, and the Lord will be honored through Pharaoh and his armies, and that Egypt will know that he is the Lord. So let's put ourselves in Moses' shoes real quick. Would we really trust in the Lord if we heard this? So the Lord is telling you to go camp by the sea, that Pharaoh is going to chase after you, but the Lord will be honored through all of this. So Moses is probably sitting there like kind of confused, like, oh, what's going on here? Like, what's actually going to happen? The Lord didn't tell Moses here that he was going to part the Red Sea, that they were going to escape from the hand of Egypt. He didn't know all that. All he knew is that he needed to take the sons of Israel and to go camp by the sea, and that Pharaoh was going to chase them, but the Lord would be honored through this all. That's all he heard. And it just seems kind of crazy, but Moses had that type of crazy faith where he believed and he listened to the Lord and obeyed his word. And so the next few verses we'll see that Pharaoh gets his army together and they start to chase the sons of Israel. So in verses 10 through 12 we'll see the doubt that starts to come in the sons of Israel's head. And here we go. Verses 10 through 12 again. "As Pharaoh drew near, the sons of Israel looked, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them, and they became very frightened. So the sons of Israel cried out to the Lord. Then they said to Moses, It is because that there were no graves in Egypt that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness. Why have you dealt with us in this way, bringing us out of Egypt? Is this not the word that we spoke to you in Egypt, saying, Leave us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians, for it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness?" We see so much doubt come into the sons of Israel's head right there. They just think that they were let out there to die in the wilderness. They had no faith that the Lord would deliver them from this. But we're going to continue reading verses 13 through 18, and we'll see how this whole thing kind of unravels. "But Moses said to the people, Do not fear, stand by and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, you will never see them again forever. The Lord will fight for you while you keep silent." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the sons of Israel to go forward. As for you, lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, and the sons of Israel shall go through the midst of the sea on dry land. As for me, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they will go in after them, and I will be honored through Pharaoh and all his army, through his chariots and his horsemen. Then the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I am honored through Pharaoh, through his chariots and his horsemen." So it starts off here in verse 13. We see the complete faith that Moses had. Verses 13 and 14 I just really love, because Moses says, "Do not fear, stand by and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today." So Moses had that faith. He knew that the Lord was going to accomplish something great today. So he said, "Do not fear about anything. The Lord is with us today." In verse 14, kind of just like, it's amazing. "The Lord will fight for you while you keep silent." So you don't have to back up anything that the Lord is going to do. You just have to let him take that battle and let him fight and let him take the victory, so that he can be honored through it all. You don't have to say anything. Just listen and allow the Lord to work. But again, when we get to verses 15 and 16, we sort of see this like kind of crazy faith that Moses needs to have to actually trust in the Lord. So again, put yourself in their shoes. The Lord tells Moses to tell the sons of Israel to go forward. And I bet the sons of Israel hear that and they're looking at the sea. They're like, "You're telling me to go forward? You want me to just walk out in the sea? Like, I'm going to drown." Like, they were probably like, what is he telling us to do? Why are we doing this? Why would we just walk forward out into the sea? Because the sons of Israel already had this sort of doubt in their mind, so that when they hear Moses tell them to go forward, they're probably like even more confused, like, why are we doing this? What's going on? But then the miracle happens right there. The next verse 16. The Lord tells Moses to lift up his staff, stretch your hand over the sea, and divide it. so that the sons of Israel go through the midst of the sea on the dry land. So Moses, before that point, never knew that he was going to split the Red Sea right there. He was completely going into every situation just fully trusting the Lord that something was going to work out. Even though it probably all seemed very crazy at first, everything was put in place for a reason so that the Lord's plan could unveil. But after Moses lifts up and parts the Red Sea, then we can see in verses 17 and 18 that the Lord was going to be honored, like he said to Moses in verses 1 through 4, that he was going to be honored through Pharaoh, and he says this again. He says, "Then the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I am honored through Pharaoh, through his chariots and his horsemen." So again, just like it says in verse 4, it says back in 18 that the Lord is saying that he's going to be honored through this all. So verses 15 through 18 are kind of just like verses 1 through 4. It first starts off with the Lord speaking something to Moses, and the Lord saying that he's going to be honored through Pharaoh, the Egyptians, and through his army. And then we go back into verses 15 and 18, and the Lord again speaks to Moses, and in verse 18 he says that he's going to be honored through this all. So kind of the message that I want to get out of this is that the Lord's going to tell you to do some things that doesn't really make much sense, but they are very clear instructions. Like, he gave Moses very clear instructions as to what to do, but he didn't really tell him what was going to happen as a result of this. So we kind of see in here two different ways that we can respond to the Lord and the word that he has spoke to us. We have the sons of Israel and we have Moses. The sons of Israel responded with doubt and fear and anxieties and worries, whereas Moses responded in faith, knowing that the Lord was there and that he didn't have to fear. So my question for you guys is, which way are you going to respond when you get a word from the Lord? Are you going to respond in faith and obedience, or are you going to respond like the sons of Israel with doubt, fear, and worry? I would highly recommend reading the whole Exodus chapter 14 for yourself, as I just hopped around to a few certain verses throughout this chapter, but it is a very powerful chapter, so I definitely recommend reading it all. And I hope this message spoke to some of y'all today. I don't really know how well I got it across because I was kind of stumbling a lot while filming this, but I hope it spoke to some of y'all today. God bless you all, and have a great rest of your day, and enjoy the Super Bowl as well, because it is Super Bowl Sunday. Go Stafford. See you guys later.